Hey everyone, I'm here today to take a look at and compare the Jurassic World Dominion with the Jurassic World Survival Kosmoceratops from Mattel. You can see that this new Survival one is a lot smaller, even though they're the same price range and the same size scale. They have reduced it quite a bit there. I don't know if that's because of the cost of things going up, but yeah, it looks like these smaller scale dinosaurs are getting smaller. Which, you know, I guess you can use this one as an adult and this one as a juvenile. They both have pretty much the same action feature. On the Dominion version, it's activated by the tail. So you move the tail up and it makes the head go down. Move the tail down and it makes the head go up. So you can move the head like that. Whereas on the new one, it's a button on the back you press and it just makes the head go up. And if you release, you can either push the button down, it makes the head go up and then it clips down like that. Or if you press the button a bit more gently, you can just make the head go up. Then if you let go of the button, it makes it go down. So articulation wise, this Dominion one, which is only from like 3 years ago, as well as having the legs go forward and backwards, they also both pivot out to the side. On the front it's on like a ball joint, and on the back it's just sort of pivots out slightly. It doesn't go out as much as the front one, but it still will pivot outwards like that. Whereas on the new one, the legs only go forward and backwards. There's no pivot out to the side at all. So as well as it being smaller, we've also got less articulation. But this one does have a swivel on the tail, but that breaks up the sculpt, so I never think it looks good anyway. And I don't see why you'd really need to swivel it. If anything, you'd want the tail going side to side, because they've put spikes on this one like a stegosaurus. But having it swivel is a bit pointless. That's the only articulation this one has that the Dominion one doesn't. You can see how different the tails are there and how they've redesigned it with those big spikes on the new one. There are a lot less paint details on the new one as well, which is another way they've kind of cheaped out on it. But I do like how they've made all of the horns a separate piece of plastic. There's kind of a rubbery plastic, but that means that these horns along the top of the frill look so much better than on the Dominion one, where they are just kind of moulded in and painted. So that's one area where it's better. But I wish they'd done it with the horns going down the side there as well, because they're not painted and they're not a separate piece of plastic, they're all just green, whereas really they should be the same colour as all the other horns. Neither of them have the horns on the side of the face, on the cheeks there, painted, which is a shame. You see on this one the horns are kind of swept back, which I don't think is particularly accurate. Mattel seem to be doing this whole reimagined thing at the minute, where they basically just redesign the dinosaurs to make them look cooler, I guess. I'm not a fan of it. That's why I haven't been buying that many of the newer Mattel Jurassic World toys lately, because I just don't like it when they make them too inaccurate. But on this one, it's got a lovely paint job around the frill with that red you can see on the top there. It's just a nice pattern, whereas this one looks very plain in comparison. The newer one also has a horn on the nose sticking forward. I mean, this does look nice. It's not as extreme and over the top as some of their reimagined dinosaurs. But on the tail, on the original one here from Dominion, there are some bony protrusions going down, but they're not too extreme. Whereas on this one, they've made it kind of like a stegosaurus almost, which is kind of, I don't think is accurate to the real creature. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not keen on them going too over the top like that. I wish they'd kept it a bit more simple like this. I'm just going to explain it away in my mind that this is a juvenile and this is an adult. So as it gets older, the horns on the tail will shrink and the horns on the head will start to bend forward. It's always frustrating when some of the bones aren't painted, because it really sort of stands out when half of them are and half of them aren't. Like on that original one from Dominion, I wish those horns were painted like all the ones around the frill are. Especially seeing as they are the main big horns at the front. It's just so noticeable that they're green and fleshy coloured rather than bone. But it does look so much better on the new one, the way the bones on the frill are a separate bit of plastic. I mean, ideally the beaks would be painted as well, but I can kind of get over that. The beaks not being painted doesn't bother me as much, but when it's the big horns on the head, like, come on. Even though this new one doesn't have that many paint apps, I do like the use of darker green and lighter green. That's just a colour scheme for a dinosaur that works for me. This original one's a little bit dull. It does have some green stripes going down the back there, but it's just more of a dull green. I prefer the greens that are used on this newer one. It makes it look, it's just nice and vibrant, and it's a nice mix of the two. And you know, I don't dislike this one, even though it's smaller and it's got less articulation and it's not as accurate. I do actually think this looks quite nice. It's a nice sculpt in general. You know, they've done a good job. There's the app code for both if you want. I'm glad they're putting the app codes on the feet again as a sticker. I never liked it when they had these fold out and slide out panels and things on the dinosaurs. I think it's better when it's just on the foot out of the way. I do like building up a species, but for them not to all look exactly identical. I don't just want to buy the same toy over and over. So I like that they have redesigned it a little bit and resculpted it, and you can use it as a juvenile and the Dominion one as an adult. But I just wish Mattel wouldn't do this over-the-top redesigning of the dinosaurs lately. I'm not a fan of that. But I do think these two actually look good together. These are pretty small dinosaurs, and there's not really that much to say about them because there's not too much to them other than the simple action feature. But I just wanted to highlight how much the newer ones are kind of smaller and less articulated now for the money, which is a shame to see that happening, and with less paint detailing too. Though I do like the use of extra plastic around the head at least for some of those horns. But how do you guys feel about them redesigning the dinosaurs at the minute for the new line? Do you like that they're doing something a bit different? Or, like me, would you rather that they kept the dinosaurs as accurate as possible? Give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.